So I, for one, have had the fortune of being able to travel quite extensively. Okay, not a flex, just the nature of things, right? As a man, as you get older, you're able to acquire a certain amount of capital and you can apply for a passport because you're not a felon and therefore travel and get some miles under your belt. And I'll tell you what, as much as I am not the biggest fan for travel for various reasons, but for the purpose of this video is that style is everything. And I'll tell you what, style is a language that I think most of us, I at one point was illiterate. And I remember traveling to the two places that really opened my mind up to what style was and how illiterate I was at it was going to Japan and then going to the Mediterranean, i.e. Spain and Italy specifically. But Japan in particular, let's focus on Japan. Man, the drape, right? The style, the colors, the scheme, just everything around it. I was just so impressed by the seriousness in which people took style over there. It was like something I had never seen before. It was like if this was the way I pictured it in my mind was like if Milan and Asia had a baby, it would be Japan. Because I mean, the style was just like elegance, timeless, simple, extravagant, classy. Just all the best feelings in the world could be encapsulated by just being in Japan and just sitting down and watching everyone pass by. And I was just so impressed. I just couldn't believe that this was there existed a place on the planet in which people took style so seriously. And then I realized, like, oh my gosh, like here in America, we're blessed with so much textiles, so much of it is very affordable, and yet we find a way to always mess it up, right? We find a way to always double dribble and can't get style right, especially like being here in a city, in a metropolis, and still not having style is unbelievable. It's deplorable, and it also makes it so that the city isn't as beautiful because people don't add to the palette, right? They don't make the city palatable. They make it more ugly, in fact. But the other place that I went to that really caught my attention was going to Spain and Italy and just seeing all the linens and just kind of the effortlessness that people put into their outfits, but also the care, right? Regardless of age, people dressed well for the most part. And I remember going to Madrid in particular and just thinking to myself, like, man, like there was just so many well-dressed people. And I was so impressed by how serious people took it. And especially a lot of older people. And they were riding public transportation. So it wasn't like it was just wealthy types. It was just anybody that had any pride in who they were, any love for heritage or tradition, right? Which was that they understood effectively that you're communicating in a language, right? That was spoken in terms of textile, right? In terms of how you wore it as opposed to what you said or how you conducted yourself. And it said everything about these people and it said everything about their civilizations, but it also says a lot about what we do wrong here. And look, if you want to be a rebel in this world, especially in the US, it is to dress well. It's absolutely a rebellious sort of spiritual battle that you're waging, right? If you decide to dress well. And it's not that hard, I'll be honest with you. Competition is not really stiff. There's plenty of people that dress so bad that it's so easy that all you got to do is, just care a little bit about how you dress. And look, I'll give you some simple strategies. It doesn't even have to be that complicated. Keep it very simple. Simple linens, earthy colors, get your palette right. Get all your linens in order. Get your button up set up. As a man, I think as a grown man, I don't really do t-shirts unless I'm training outside. Otherwise, I stick to button ups. And obviously, as the seasons change, I'll wear, sweaters or jackets. But I try to wear all natural fabrics. My color schemes are pretty much already set, so I can just plug and chug different packs with different tops. It's very easy. Leather-bound shoes. Try to stay away from sneakers as much as I can. Boots, sandals, and that's pretty much it. And like I said, I mean, yeah, it's just something that's very simple. And look, I had a bunch of stuff written out, and I might regret it later for not putting it in there. But you get the idea. The basis was that I got to go somewhere far away from where I live, and to see that other people were living differently, and thought to myself, I need to do this. I need to bring this back home. I need to wear style on me. I need to get literate. I need to become refined. I need to become a connoisseur. And so I began to shop in earnest, and I stacked up a considerable amount of clothes. And so much so that I was like, nah, I had weeks without having to repeat an outfit. And that was like new for me, because I used to just be the guy that would wear the same thing every day and didn't care, didn't worry about it. And yeah, so look, so take style seriously. That's the point. Take style serious. That's the lesson in here. Take it serious. Um, it is a non-communicative language that you need to be well adept at. And if you want to stand out, you'll see what happens when you take style serious. Before you even say anything, just that part itself should be enough for you to be a standout. Especially, like I said, if you're in America. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.